So let's talk about the 10 ways that you're gonna be successful as a filmmaker or a creator. Now these are important, and I highly suggest you listen to all of these different points, because I run into a lot of people out there in the industry that do the complete opposite of the different things that I'm gonna talk about here, and they really suck to work with, and they're people that I will never work with again. And you'll understand why in a second. One note before we get started on these 10 tips, I originally shot this video intending for people who are starting a production company or who are freelancing. However, these tips apply to being a creator in any way. So some of it might sound more like I'm talking about being on set and with a production, but you can apply this to anything that you're doing. If you're just doing YouTube or social media content, these same tips apply. And if I'm talking about being on set, I'm also talking about, creating your own content, working with others, and all of that. So guys, these tips are super important, and make sure you don't discredit things just because the way that I'm talking about it, because I put it in the context of basically the production world, but it works for YouTube as well. So the first thing is be prompt. No matter what the situation is, always be on top of your time, always make sure you're ahead of everything. Never show up to set late, never be late on emails, always be prompt. And that's something that's key in the industry that will make you stand out. If you're working with clients, if you're working on productions and you're not on time, or you're taking a week to get back to emails, you're gonna lose your clients and you're gonna lose any sort of connection. Anyone who's late to set on our shoots, we get rid of, because we don't wanna deal with people that aren't on top of their shit. We wanna deal with people that are good and reliable. All right, number 2 is be confident. If you walk into a situation and you're nervous, everyone around you is gonna feel that. So if you're working with a client and maybe you're unsure about lighting or the audio, you do not want to show it on your face. You don't wanna talk about how you're not sure if this is gonna work right. Be confident, just own it. And you know what? Everyone around you will think that you know exactly what you're doing. So always have confidence, always be on top of it. Obviously know when you need to work on things or learn something, but you need to not show that you're nervous or that you're unsure about something on set, because everyone around you will sense that. Now, right along with this, don't be arrogant. So don't be an asshole on set. Don't be like, it's my way or the highway. You still have to be fluid. You have to take advice from people. You have to listen to other people. You can't say it's my way or the highway. As soon as you become an asshole, people won't want to work with you. Clients will get upset. They won't hire you again. So you just gotta keep your cool, be confident, not be arrogant. Now this next tip is something that helped grow our company to where it is today. It's allowed me to build the clients that we have, and that is be the yes man or yes woman. So you basically want to say yes to everything when you're starting out. Say yes, go for it, own it. If it ends up being a bad shoot, you're gonna learn from it. However, if you're doing something like a freebie and it's a good shoot, guess what? That might lead to some more work down the road. So there's a lot of times where we will take on a job and we'll do it for free just because it's A, practice for us, and B, there might be a connection down the road because someone's gonna be really excited and say, I remember I worked with this person a year ago and they did an awesome job. Well, they're gonna refer you if someone's looking for a shooter in the future. If you have the time, say yes, just go for it and do as much as possible. This next one I'm sure you guys have heard, and that is fake it till you make it, and I can't stress this enough. Fake it till you make it, have that confidence, and just go for it. There was a shoot when I was early on in my career where I got asked to be a dolly grip. It was on a Fisher dolly. I'd never touched a Fisher dolly before, and sure enough, I said yes, and I said, yep, I understand this dolly completely, let's just go for it. And so I had like a week before that shoot started. What I did for that entire week was read the manual, look online, found out all the information I could about a Fisher dolly, which is a big piece of hardware. And then when I got on set, I had a crew of like 3 or 4 under me who were basically my assistants to make this dolly work. And it ended up being a shoot where we used the dolly in almost every shot. Now, when I showed up on set, I snuck off to the side a little bit, played around with it, and was like, great, got this, and just went for it. The director had no idea, the DP had no idea that I'd never touched a Fisher dolly before, and they were so excited with the footage that we were getting because I just went for it and owned it. So fake it till you make it, because you never know what opportunity you'll miss out if you say, no, I can't do something. Just own it and go for it. Okay, the next is learn from your mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. Just realize that you are going to make mistakes in this industry. You're gonna mess up and it's gonna happen. But what you don't wanna do is make that mistake again. So always learn from your mistakes. If you did something wrong, if something failed on a shoot, Just figure out why it failed or why you made that mistake and just learn from it so you don't do that again in the future. We have made so many mistakes in our career, in our growing our business, but you know what? It's made our company stronger. It's given us the ability to go after these high budget clients and know that we're not gonna get screwed or that we're not going to have an issue on set because we've already made all these issues and we've learned from them. And the next point goes right along with that, and that is don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. So all these kind of play together. Say yes, go for it. If you make a mistake, learn from it. But just don't be afraid to make mistakes. So you got to take risks and you got to just go for it sometimes. And yes, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to piss people off. It happens, but you'll learn and you'll become a better creator and filmmaker out of it. So like I was saying with that dolly production, I spent a whole week just researching and reading up on the manual on this dolly, which that brings me to the next point, which is do your homework. If you don't fully understand something, the internet is full of information. Just start digging, do your homework. Don't just wait till last minute to figure something out. If you have a production coming up and you don't know a lot about the client, you don't know a lot about the place you're shooting or the gear you're using, research everything. Do some digging, see who it is that you're working with. See if you can figure out some information about the people that are in the production. If you're working with like a new audio guy, you're working with a new lighting guy, do some research, do your homework, see who they are, see who they've worked with. You just need to be the most informed that you can be when you approach set because it will all come into play eventually. You don't want to walk on set and just not have any understanding of who's around you, what's going on, the situation, the camera gear, the lighting gear. You got to know what you're working with. And the next bit plays on that, and that is never stop learning. Never think that you are the master at everything when it comes to filmmaking. You gotta keep learning. I'm always looking for new courses or new videos to watch that will improve my skills. And you know what? I learn stuff all the time. Everyone has a different approach to filmmaking and using cameras and just doing things in general. And the more that you are out there exploring what it is that other people are doing, you'll learn and you'll be able to create better content yourself. Learn from others, look what's out there. There's so much information on the web. All right, and my last tip is something that is tough if you're caught in the moment, but that is don't get angry on set. Don't get angry with clients. You need to keep a cool, level head and be businesslike about everything. If something goes wrong, people get very emotional in this industry. If you're working with a client and something goes down with the camera, you might have clients screaming at you. If something happens and like the audio goes down or the camera goes down, I've had clients that get so pissed off, they start screaming at you. And you know what? You have to keep a level head. At the end of the day, if you're the cool person on set and you're the one running the show, everyone else will vibe off it. Even if people are pissed off, you need to keep yourself as cool as possible. Don't bring emotions into it, because as soon as you bring emotions into your business, that's when things go wrong. So things will happen. It's Murphy's Law. It always happens in film production. It's never an easy thing as a whole. Like sometimes you'll have good shoots, but a lot of times you'll have bad shoots where just stuff goes wrong. It's just life. It's the way it goes. Try to keep emotions out of it and try to just have a level head with what it is that you're doing. If you need to step away, collect yourself, come back, and just deal with the situations and learn from it, because that's how you'll have better productions in the future. All right, guys, and that is it. If you're new here to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're watching this at the time of its release, I'm actually in Ecuador right now, climbing the 2 tallest peaks in Ecuador. This was a video that I found on one of my hard drives. I'd never released it, so I thought this would be a great time to put it out there. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about these 10 tips, so leave a comment down below, and when I'm back in service, I'll check it out. Also, guys, make sure you head over to thecreatorfilmschool.com. That is where I have all of my courses about being a creator or a filmmaker. And guys, that's it. I'll see you on the next one.